life isn't about what happens to you. It's about how you react to what happens to you, you know? Give me like 10 minutes of conversation by the punch bowl and the chips. And she's like, you know what? I might suck this dude's
Any plans on having kids soon?
Well, here's the thing. Special announcement.
Off. The pill.
Clappy claps.
Oh, for mine.
Welcome back to another episode of Off the Pill Podcast. Hey, you remembered this time.
I always remember.
Oh, you know what?
doesn't.
Will was doing it last time and he forgot. Anyway, I'm Ryan. Paco's in the moderator seat, and we got a very special OG YouTuber and mainstream celebrity now,
Ryan.
Timothy DeLaGhetto.
Hi.
I didn't say your real name.
What's up, guys? It's okay. You can say
You don't put that out anyway.
I don't really put it out there, but it's out there. You know, I'm not like hiding it either.
You want to say it again?
My real name,
Yeah.
my real government name is Tim Chantarangsu. That's my Thai last name. And here's something, a little tidbit of information that not too many people know. My real first name is not Timothy. It's just Tim.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like on my birth certificate.
But your YouTube name is Timothy DeLaGhetto.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's changing everything, bro. I'm not telling you my last name. I'm changing up my first name.
I've never heard of someone extending their name.
I just thought Timothy like rolled better with the DeLaGhetto, you know?
Yeah.
Timothy DeLaGhetto, you know?
And I mean, speaking of which, because I said OG YouTuber, you were around. When did you start?
Probably my current channel to this day, my current main channel is 06.
Right.
I had one channel before that in 05 that got like just someone guessed my
Deleted.
password and deleted all my videos. You know?
That is so whack. You know what's crazy though? YouTube has all those backed up.
Do they?
Yeah. I don't know should I say this? I could probably say this. I deleted a ton of videos when like copyright strikes started to happen.
Yeah.
Right when we got YouTube partnership. I think that was like 07.
You didn't
08.
even private them? You just deleted them?
I didn't know. I didn't know better. I was like, I don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
Because I just had started making money.
Mm-hmm.
And they flagged like, I guess all of my videos had music, so I started deleting like all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back. I think it was like a couple years later, and I don't know what happened. They updated YouTube or something, and they were all in my in my inventory and like in my videos. So like I have like lip syncs and stuff that have like 5,000 views.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they have everything, and I know for a fact I deleted them. That means they keep it.
Oh shit! It's probably all in some like crazy database.
Blackmail, dude.
Yeah.
So if there's videos you didn't want up, it's there.
Oh
still.
God. I mean, anything that got deleted with that first channel, it was so stupid too. Because I was like, I remember I was really just excited. I had like 500 subscribers on my first channel, and it was
That was a lot back then.
That was a
People
lot.
That don't know.
Well, it was so no. Okay, actually, I had a couple. It was one called Funky Fresh. That was my first channel ever. And my channel, my password was funky because I was just dumb and lazy, and I was like, and I always forget my passwords. And I think one day somebody had just like was fucking around, and I can say that, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Somebody was fucking around.
I don't want to force it, but no, yeah.
And guess my password, and like it was literally I had maybe 10 videos that were there of just me freestyling or doing whatever, and they all got deleted, and someone had just uploaded like choreography videos, you know. And then and that's when I started the Timothy DeLaGhetto account, and then I lost that one because I don't know if you remember, but way back then when YouTube first started out, there was no like moderation, you know, no one really paying attention to how everything worked. But if somebody just flags your video enough, it would just get taken down.
Yep, I do remember
right?
that.
So there was no, you know, limited access or 18 or older. It was just automatically taken down.
Yeah.
And then they also had a 3 strike rule. So if you had 3 videos taken down, your channel was just deleted, you know? And then I think there was a time on my original Timothy DeLaGhetto channel where I think just like a handful of like haters were just constantly flagging my videos, and within like a week and a half, it was like video taken down, channel suspended, and I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And then I had to start all over. And
do you think it's because I mean, like you kind of, I mean, your content, especially back then, you really like pushed the limit, right?
Yeah, and well, you know what, and also back then, I mean, I remember specifically a couple of videos that got deleted that week. It was just.
Tell us about it.
It was silly stuff, bro. Like I wasn't even taking it seriously yet. It was literally like a video of me and a friend of mine like making out. one of them, and then stuff from like my cell phone. You know, like me maybe like playing with like a butt or something. You know, this is way back. This was like single working at California Pizza Kitchen, Tim, like just having fun with my friends on my phone. I was like, oh, let me upload this video of me like playing with my friend's butt, you know?
Yeah.
So
you didn't start off rapping then?
It was a combination of stuff. It was me freestyling and then whatever just random stuff.
Is that what got you to start YouTube?
Kind of. Well, what got me to start YouTube specifically was, you know my boy PD Flow?
Yep.
So me and PD Flow, we went to high school together. And PD Flow and my boy Super Ego and Rick, we all went to high school together. And me, PD Flow, and Eric specifically, we used to make these like short films in high school. And we had one that we did called Jason versus Gumby that like PD Flow put on his website, and it started to get some traction online. Like it was getting spread around a lot, not even when there weren't a lot of, there weren't websites to share videos back then. So his website was like running out of bandwidth. You know what I'm saying? It would shut down because we couldn't afford to keep the website up with all the hits we were getting. So one day I was on MySpace. And someone posted a bulletin. MySpace is a website where people used to post pictures and stuff. And someone posted a bulletin and it was like, look at these white girls dancing to Laffy Taffy, LOL. So I'm like, oh, okay, what is this about? I clicked on it. I watched the video. I LOL'd. But I was like, wow, this is a website where anybody can put any video and it'll give you like an embed code for your MySpace. This is crazy. So I told Peter, I was like, yo, man, we can just put our videos on this website and we don't have to worry about bandwidth and none of that stuff. So we put our little shorts on there, and then I was like, maybe this is a good way to get my face out there. So I just started uploading just like silly stuff, like me freestyling or like, lip syncing.
Yeah.
And then I would tag all my freestyle videos as Jin 106 in Park, Freestyle Friday, Asian freestyle.
For those that don't know, that's another a completely different person, Asian rapper. That's smart though. That's what you had to do back then.
Yeah. So so I would get the occasional comments of like, "LOL, this ain't Jin. You all right though?" So out of like,
that's the biggest compliment.
Yeah, exactly. So out of like 10 people that were like, what the hell is this? It was a handful of people like, oh, okay, I think I like this.
Well, speaking, since we're talking about like rap and stuff like that, for those that don't know, you were on a TV show for how long?
6 seasons. No,
Really?
8 seasons, 6 years.
Wild and Out. It was on MTV, correct?
It's still on MTV.
But you're not doing it anymore.
I am not on the show anymore.
What happened with there?
You know what? It was just I was feeling like it was getting a little repetitive for me, and I had been telling the guys in our little Wild and Out group chat for a couple years. Well, a couple seasons, like, all right, y'all, I think this is my last one. I think I'm cool. I'm ready to move on. I think it's my last one, but I will keep doing it,
Yeah.
And then one day we kind of had a mutual. Well, one of the producers was like, "Hey, man, I don't think we're gonna have you anymore." I was like, they broke up with me basically.
Oh,
man.
they told you that?
Well, yeah, because I already had it in my head that maybe I'll do one more season and then I'll move on. And
they tell you why?
I've heard a few different things. So so one of the producers called me up and he's like, "Hey man, do you have time to talk?" And I was like, "Oh shit, he's breaking up with me." I felt it. I was like, "This is the breakup talk,"
Yep.
And because he texted me, he said, "You got time to talk?" I was like, "Yeah, bro, I got time to talk. But if this is what I think it is, you owe me steak dinner, and I'm going somewhere expensive, and I'm ordering everything." And he just LOL'd. I was like, "Oh, okay, it's going down."
Yeah.
So he called me and he was like, "Yeah, you know what?" He was just like, I think we're gonna go in a different direction, and I was like, "All right, man, cool, works for me." And
is it because did they replace you with another Asian dude? They're the only Asian, right?
They've been trying. There's
not many people like you, man.
I agree. And they've been trying to fill that void a little bit.
Yeah.
So they kind of retired me, as I like to call it, or fired me, if you want to say that. But and then they brought in Rice Gum.
Rice Gum was in it?
They tried it out.
Oh man,
they tried it out. I don't think that really works for anybody. You know what I'm saying?
You guys are opposites, I feel like.
Yeah, and Wild and Out's a different beast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
you gotta
think
be quick and actually, I don't know. Maybe he is. For all I know, I haven't heard him rap.
It feels more though that Tim is like an authentic, genuine character who can like you really fit that,
Thanks.
like it didn't seem like, oh, they're trying to fit diversity here,
right.
They're trying to hit that Asian audience. It's just like, nah, Tim matches. Well,
that's the thing about it too. When I used to watch Wild and Out, because it was on way back, and then I was basically brought on for like the reboot, and so when it was on back in the day, I was like, yo, I would be perfect on this show. But I remember, I think I was like in high school or, and I was like, I would be dope on this show because I was rapping and I was funny, and this show is like rapping and being funny, you know what I'm saying? So when I heard they brought it back, I was like, yes, let me get in there.
And you did.
And I did.
That's crazy.
And I did.
Yeah.
It was actually, did I ever tell you about how I got on?
No.
So, would you like to know?
I would love to know.
Okay, well, let me tell you. I heard Nick Cannon was bringing Wild 'N Out back, so I followed him on Twitter. And then one day, he tweeted, who's the funniest person online? Whoever gets the most retweets of hashtag Wild 'N Out needs me, I'll audition personally. So at that point, I had a decent YouTube following. This is probably like 2012, 2013. And so I got a bunch of retweets, and then someone DM'd me, and they were like, if you would really like to audition, contact this person, come to this address. I was like, sweet. And also during that whole process, a friend of the producer, who was a guy I knew, was like, hey man, I know the producer. If you really want to get in there, I'll get you in there. And then I went in for the audition, and Nick already knew who I was he knew me as a rapper, not necessarily a comedian. Yeah, because on some super random stuff, he used to manage this artist named Colette Carr, and that year or the year before that, Billboard came out with this chart called the Uncharted chart, and it was basically people who were kind of doing their thing online. And I was number one when they premiered the chart, because I was doing music and stuff too. Yeah. And so I guess Nick just saw me on that list. So I auditioned, and they had me like freestyle, and we played some improv games, and it was stuff like they'd say, Kevin Hart is in front of you right now, diss him with a rap, stuff like that. Yeah. And we do that, and they call you back for the group audition to see how you are with the other would-be cast members, where we like make up games and stuff. And and then they called me next week, said I was on the show. And and I was like, man, that was like 7 years ago, but did like 6 seasons. And and then they...
I thought 8 seasons.
8 seasons, 6 years. Yep. And they kicked me off and brought on Rice Gum, tried that out. I don't think he had fun either, though. Yeah. I think he was like...
Just knowing him personally, I can't see him really doing that.
Right.
Hey, do you wanna name drop who you're competing against to get on the show?
As an Asian?
Yeah.
Well, do you know this story?
Yeah.
You do know this story.
I don't know this story, so tell me.
So, they kind of were looking to fulfill that kind of token Asian spot, because majority black cast. Yep. And it came down to me and Dumbfounded. Oh. And if you ask the producer, or if you even ask Dumb, like what went wrong on his audition, he'll be like, I messed up my freestyle. I don't know what happened.
Dumb is dope too.
Dumb is amazing.
Yeah. He's like a freestyle god.
Yeah. I know. His freestyle is crazy, and I guess he just got nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, well, shit, good for me.
But he doesn't really like, you do like funny jokes. But Dumb is more like a serious.
He's got jokes too.
Oh, really?
Dumb's a funny dude.
Every time I see him, he's like, I mean, he's dope. So I figure he takes it so serious,
I think we both agree that that ended up the best though, like for the best, you know what I'm saying? Like I think I was
that was the perfect show for you.
Yeah,
like that's like your style of comedy. You were actually, I mean, like I didn't watch the show. I watched on like Facebook video and stuff like that.
Yeah, like little clips I would put up. Yeah.
All your stuff was always like really good, like really smart, well thought out.
Thanks, man.
And sometimes it would just be so like when they would go at you.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I have a bias because I'm Asian, but like all the jokes were the same, like every single time. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure you saw a lot of it.
No, you're right. Well, that's the thing, too, is like...
Same with the Nick Cannon jokes. Though.
I know.
Like, that was really annoying, too.
Well, the thing is, when people complain about, they only came at you with the same jokes, I mean, they did, but at the same time, everybody kind of played their part. Like,
I got it.
Everyone has their role on the show where they would get made fun of for the same stuff. Like the fat dude would get the fat jokes, and the white girl Justina, she gets all the "you're a whore" jokes. And
but it's, even if it's the same kind of joke, it's the way you tell it, right?
Totally.
So like to me, you and the short black guy was really
conceited.
Good. He's really good.
He's so clever with it.
He's clever,
and that's the thing. And there's another white guy on there named Sharon from Canada who's also he's good at switching up old jokes and putting a new spin on them. You know. And I always tell people, I'm like, the thing about the reason why those jokes were so easy for me to rebuttal is because I've been hearing those jokes my whole life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
Like nothing new. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, out of the whole cast, actually, you roasted a lot of like celebrities too. Out of everybody who like you met doing the show, you met a bunch of celebrities, right?
Yeah.
Who was the worst on the show for you?
Like as a
You can talk about your personal experience. I mean, there's not many people that get to meet celebrities pretty much every week. So.
Well, you know what was annoying? His first time on, and then the second time on, he was super nice. Yeah. So I don't know what changed, but like the first time Rick Ross came on, he came on with like 15 different people that they insisted would all be on the stage. You know what I'm saying? And it was very like the whole atmosphere was very tense. You know, because I feel like he didn't want to look dumb. Right. And even like there was kind of like a little, they were like, hey guys, you know, no fat jokes for Rick Ross. And that was they said no fat. Sometimes celebrities will kind of come in with certain restrictions, like and don't touch areas, and they were like no fat jokes. But then Nick made a fat joke. So it's kind of like, you know, him as the boss man, I guess he was allowed. But then the next time Rick Ross came on, super nice, didn't have his whole entourage, and was down to make jokes. I mean, especially since I guess he had lost a lot of weight. But that was probably one of the most like, I don't know, just like the vibe felt a little weird, you know?
I mean, it might be also like he was hesitant, you know, not sure how this goes. And then after that show aired, you know, maybe he saw like a jump in sales, jump in streams. And he's like, oh, this is good for me.
I think everybody's a little weary to go on Wild 'N Out because they don't want to, you know, they don't want to feel like, you know, they're going to get made fun of and it's going to go viral or anything like that. But especially that first season was kind of hard to get guests. But I think now that it's been on for like a few years now and people realize, it's all just fun and games. Like
it's
they don't
proven.
mind.
It's proven.
Yeah, exactly. It was cool.
So you're cool with Nick Cannon then?
Nick's a cool, we're good. We're good. I mean, it's not like we're homies.
I mean, it's always like you see people make jokes about the boss. You know, like there was made it seem like, I don't know. There's a lot of things people would say, your cast would say. Yeah. And I was always like, oh, do you guys actually like him? Like, you know what I mean?
Nah, it was all, you know, it's all just fun and games. Yeah. Nick's a good dude. Nick, if anything, Nick is a very supportive guy. You know, if he like F's with you as a person, he will put you in other things. He'll let you know if he has like a part in a movie he wants you for. And he's just a supportive dude. Actually, what I heard through the grapevine, I don't even know how true this is, but what I heard about the reason why they decided not to bring me back another season is I heard that Nick was going through like the list of people of the cast, and he said, this is what I heard. I heard he was like, he got to my name and was like, I feel like Tim could be doing more. And then that's why they decided to let me go. So I don't know if that was just like, I'm going to say that and make myself feel better about like letting him go, or if that was that's how he genuinely feels. Right. Either way, it's all love though.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
But you said you were trying to you were trying to get off the show for a while anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really voice that to too many people. Maybe like a producer that I was really close to. Shout out to Rachel, and a few cast members that, you know, just in the group chat. I'm like, you know, guys, all right, maybe this is it for me. But it was so hard to say no when it's like, because we shoot the whole season in 2.5, 3 weeks. So it's like, why wouldn't I go on a free trip for 3 weeks and live in a hotel for free, have fun, you know, get drunk, go on stage, like play stupid games with celebrities and get a check, you know? Yeah. But, you know, it just got a little old for me, you know? So, but it was cool.
Well, I guess continuing with the Wild 'N Out stuff, there was a brief moment in time. I don't know if you're still doing this. I haven't seen you tweet about it, but you were doing improv shows.
Oh, you know what? I was doing shows at the improv theaters, but I wasn't doing actual improv shows. What that was hold on.
This is your ASMR segment.
What that was me and I would bring on special guests, and I was doing a live game show called Follow Me, and well, basically they had approached me with the opportunity to host this game show, and it was like we would get volunteers from the audience and just see how much they would embarrass themselves for money, you know. So it would be like, let us go through your pictures in your phone, or let us go through your text messages. What's a crazy talent you can do, and it was all for like $1,000. It was a good time. It was a nice little fun little check, you know. Just get people up there, embarrass them. I wouldn't have to really even like do anything really, and that's what that was.
Got it. Oh, okay.
I mean, I have done improv in the past. Like I took improv classes in college and stuff, and you know, I met Wayne Brady on a plane, and you guys did videos with him.
Yeah. Super nice guy.
Wayne's a super nice guy. Super random. When I met him at JFK, like I saw him in front of me in security.
You know who you were?
Oh,
he watches YouTube.
So what's crazy? Here's what happened: is I saw him and I was like, "Oh man, that's Wayne Brady," and I was like, such a Who's Line fan, you know.
Yep,
but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna like blow up his spot. I'm just gonna chill. It's early, whatever. So he goes to security in front of me. I'm behind him, and then he was like, "Hey man, I just want to say that, hey, you're funny," and I was like, "Oh, Wayne Brady." Thank you. And so I was like, man, appreciate it, bro. And then so I had just upgraded my seat that morning to first class.
Ooh.
And I sat down in my seat and I was like, I think Wayne Brady's gonna sit next to me. I felt it in my soul. I was like, he's gonna sit next to me. And sure enough, he came in and he sat next to me.
Wow.
And we like chopped it up on the plane for a little bit and exchanged numbers, talked shit about you for like a good hour. And then but yeah, he was supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to, what's the word, at the wedding, the person that marries the person, officiate. He was supposed to officiate my wedding, but he had like a last minute, well, it wasn't last minute, he claims that his assistant messed some scheduling stuff up. So he had a shoot that day for a commercial that she told him was the next week after my wedding, but it was actually that day. He's like, sorry man, I can't get out of it. I was like, fine. So I had to use stupid David So instead.
Let's talk about David So a little bit. You have a show with him.
I do.
And you guys sold it to a
I did.
or whatever,
network?
right?
Yeah.
Network.
Okay, so I was I do a show with David So Comedy. If you're not familiar, he is a funny, portly Korean comedian man. And I started a show last year, early 2018, called Send Foods, where me and him go to different food festivals and we just eat all the food and get drunk and critique it and make jokes, you know. And originally he wasn't even supposed to be like the perma host. It was just I was gonna have a different person on every episode. And then but after the first one I was like, hey, well, who do you guys think should be on the next one, or should I just keep doing it with David? And everyone's like, oh my god, keep doing it with David. So kept doing it with David. I was shooting it like out of my own pocket, like, you know, for a good, well, I want to say like almost a year. And then the people at Thrillist hit me up. Thrillist is like, you know, lifestyle food channel website. They were looking for content, and so they hit me up with the interest of like acquiring the show. And so I was down because, you know, I wasn't making any money doing it because, like, you know, I had to pay for like the food and the passes and the crew and the editing and all that shit. So I sold to Thrillist. And I've been doing it with them now for like a year. It's super cool. Now I can like travel all over the country, because originally I could only afford to do it in LA and San Diego. So now that they pay for it and actually pay us for it, we can take it all over the country, and it's super fun. People like it.
Yeah. I mean, we filmed something, not that show. You have another show coming out.
Yeah. I have another show on Thrillist that's going to be on their Facebook Watch. It's called Acquired Taste, where I get a special guest and we try a interesting, unique food menu item. And so we were going to shoot in Vegas, and they were like, hey, do you have any talent you might want to have be your guest in Vegas? And I was like, Ryan.
I'm talented. That means. Yeah, so that was cool. We did some I mean, I don't want to spoil it. Just when it comes out, you'll see it.
Yeah. I had Ryan try some interesting, I've never had it before.
Yes, I haven't either.
Yeah. And let me just say, Ryan's face was really funny.
Was it that? I tried to not make it look like I hate, like.
Yeah, no, it was a good face, dude. It was a good. I think it's an ideal reaction.
I found out that I have bad. What is it called?
Facial expressions?
No, just being conscious of what my face is doing.
Yeah, like you can't control your face.
I look like mad more than I usually am.
You have a resting bitch face.
I do have that, yes.
Yeah.
But like I'm not mad.
No, I have the same.
You look happy most of the time.
Well, that's because that's when I'm engaged.
Are you conscious of it?
When when I'm interacting, I got a happy ass face.
Yeah, yes.
But when it's chilling, when I'm not talking to anybody, not doing anything, people like I've gotten multiple comments from people like, man, I was gonna say what's up to you, but you look pissed. You look like you were in a rush. I was like, no, that's just my face.
That's my face.
Sorry.
Yeah. I wish I had those, like, you know, some people just have a natural, like, kind of up on the sides of their mouth.
You wish you had an approachable face.
Kind of like you know, there's some people that just walk around and they're just kind of like.
Oh yeah, no, that's not me.
Yeah, me too.
If anything, my jowls droop a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I don't like I try to be more conscious of that. Because,
I learned I should probably think about that a little bit more. Be more conscious of your face. People have been telling me that.
It's hard. It's hard to always be conscious of your face. If anything, I'm just trying to. My posture is terrible. My face is droopy.
You're pretty self-aware, though. I mean, like to be a battle rapper, I think is that what you call it? You have to really know yourself, right? Because
I mean, if anything, now I'm always just kind of, especially when the cameras are following us around, like when we're shooting Send Foods, I'm aware more that there are people potentially like taking cell phone footage. So I try to like just like stand up straight or like not fucking like do like double chin angle, you know, because my chin gets kind of squishy when I'm just looking down.
Does that stuff really bother you though when you would see the playback? Or is it because
sometimes
like, you think it'll affect your viewership or
no? It's just
for you in general.
Yeah, just for me in general. I like to look cute. I have a little makeup on right now. I'm grateful for this light you have here, and I'm also grateful that you're shooting me from the right side because on some low key.
This is exactly what we talked about on your shoot. We were switched. I have a good not good, but this is like I rather get shot on this side, and you'd rather get shot on that side.
Yeah.
But for your shoot, we both had our bad sides.
Oh, I didn't know that was your bad side too.
Yeah.
Oh man, if you would have said that, we could have made more of an argument. I didn't want to be the only one. Like this is my bad side. Guys.
So let's switch seats. I didn't really care.
I didn't really care, but this is definitely my like preferred side, and it sounds silly for people that like don't really. Consider that a thing, but if you've seen yourself on camera enough, like
girls get it.
Girls get it.
They always look at a girl's Instagram. It's always the same angle.
Oh, dude, me too. Secretly. Now, if you look at my Instagram,
someone's gonna put together a timeline of you.
It's facts though. Well, and people that know me, like Rick. Like whenever people laugh about me having a good side, like my boy Rick, he'll be like, "Oh no, his left side is way wonkier than the right side." It's just not as what's the word? Symmetrical. Yeah. I'm just like, this side cute, this side's ill, you know?
It doesn't look bad, dude.
No,
I think, but you know your face more than anyone.
It's not bad. It's a tiny thing. Yeah.
So I guess talking about insecurities for both of you guys, a little bit. Do you want to like touch upon that? Like, because one thing that you've always talked about, and almost is like that big dick energy, where people are like, "Oh my gosh, like how are you with your now wife?"
Right.
And you would constantly preach like these people clearly don't understand more than just the physical.
Right. I mean, and you know what? No, but you know what? No. Even like fuck what you just said because physically I'm cute. Because whenever people would like try to like defend me, like, okay, so if someone would say, "Damn, how's Tim with his like Tim is out of her league or whatever," even with like my ex or my wife, and people would try to defend me, like, maybe she doesn't only care about looks. I'm like, oh hold on a second.
That's like a diss.
Pause. No, I'm cute. All right. But for me, more than anything, right? I feel like. Yeah, like confidence is important. Confidence is key, and even when I was like a little kid, and I was thinking about this the other day because someone was like, "Dude, how are you so confident?" And I would always give the answer of like, and this is true too. Not that this isn't true, but I would say, I always felt like life is so short. Why waste time worrying about what other people think about you? Because I feel like. People are gonna find you ugly and people are gonna find you hot and like people are gonna love you and people are gonna hate you. But at the end of the day, worrying on that and dwelling on that is really gonna keep you from enjoying life to its full potential.
Right.
Because like if you're self-conscious about like, oh my God, how do I look if I'm doing this, and like this person's gonna hate me and this girl's gonna reject me, there's so many things that you're not gonna try and attempt, and you just never know.
Do you feel like part of that too though is because you kind of prep for that? Like you've kind of like for example, like sitting on that side,
right?
Like showing your good side. Do you feel like I know that I prepped for this? Like I put a little bit of makeup on, but I feel like I look good, so I'm confident enough to put that energy out there. If you hadn't done all that stuff, do you feel like you would feel the same way?
And okay, see, and that's funny that you brought that up because I was thinking, like, okay, why am I really confident? Because you know how I said life is too short to care about it, and then I started thinking, why don't I care? Why didn't I ever care, even as a little kid? And I realized this is the reason, dude. I loved girls so much, even as like a little kid.
Yep.
I was never like worried that, oh, this girl thinks I'm ugly. I was like, I'm gonna try and kiss this girl. I think this girl's pretty. I'm gonna hold her hand, you know? And I think, not gonna lie, I feel like that was my main motivator for just like not giving a F growing up. You know, I was like, you know what, dude? I think this girl's cute. I know I'm hilarious. I always tell people, like, I know I'm not like the guy that walks into a room and a girl's like, man, I'm gonna suck this dude's penis, you know? But I say, give me like 10 minutes of conversation by the punch bowl and the chips, and she's like, you know what? I might suck this dude's penis.
No, but I mean, there must have been, you know, because at some point there must have been a time where you realized, oh, I'm good at conversation.
Right.
So, I mean, to get to that point, to even talk to girls, most people, your average person, I would say even most people in general, we don't naturally as a kid think that, oh, you know what, I'm good at this. Until you make a realization. There must have been a moment in your life when you realize, like, you know, I can do this.
Maybe. I mean, I just
Or were you always just naturally gifted that way?
Well, I wouldn't even say it. I was gifted. I just feel like I liked making people laugh. And I was always doing that ever since I was a little kid. I think my mom always told me I was cute. To help build my self-confidence, you know, and I was just always like, I liked being, I liked making people laugh, and I guess I liked like attention. Yeah, well, thanks. You know, I tell people I'm not that funny. I work really hard, you know, and I'm likable, you know. Like I'm always like, I'm not the funniest person in the world. Like I'm really not, but I think people enjoy working with me, and going back to just the confidence. I don't know, man. Maybe it just was always just in me, you know? Like, because I remember just being a little kid and the janitor at my school being like, you walk like a big man. And I'm like, oh.
What ethnicity was he?
He was Mexican.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you had it it was kind of a natural thing, your upbringing, and that's just you.
I think maybe, man, I think my parents just loved me, you know, made me feel good about myself, laughed at my jokes, told me I was cute, and
we know that's how you raise a successful kid.
I think it helps, man. You know,
build their confidence.
For sure.
Cool. Yeah. Well, real quick, we're about to take a quick shishi break, and we'll be right back. And we're back.
And
we had to clap again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We don't technically have to, but
I know.
And it helps. Yeah, I know.
You know your thing. You have a podcast yourself.
I do have a podcast myself. It's called the No Chaser Podcast. And it started off being like sex and relationships, but you know, that got a little old. Well, you know, it can get a little old. So, you know, we just kind of talk about everything.
Yeah. But you had a very clear voice. For us, we're just everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I try to keep a clear voice and some type of tone.
Yeah.
You know, I think it helps. But sometimes it's like, you know, we definitely had an episode a couple weeks ago where we were just talking about the most random shit. And I love that episode. But, you know, the thing about it is I love talking about random stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, for sure, like for titles and getting people to click on it, it helps that, you know.
Sexual things.
That always helps. And people will be in the comments complaining that, you know, oh, dude, you're only talking about one thing all the time. But then it's like, those are the episodes that get the most views.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a conundrum.
And also, like, if you watch the actual video, the whole episode, we're not just talking about that.
Yeah.
You know, that might be the title.
Right.
But, like, shut up and watch it.
And a lot of times it's like, it's the thing that's most impressionable and it sticks with them, which is why they feel like, oh, this is the only thing you're talking about. But it just means like you guys covered that topic so well and like there's no real holes in it. So that's a compliment in a way.
Hey, well, thanks, man. You know, I also feel like the whole like sexual conversations, specifically for like the young Asian Americans, growing up, you know, I don't remember anybody that was like Asian and talking about stuff like that. And that was a big reason why I made my content so kind of like dirty in the beginning. Because I was like, I want to be like from the first like click, I want people to be like, oh, this is not this is not a stereotype, you know. And I was like, and I, first of all, you know, I like talking about dirty stuff, you know. I enjoy butts. and talking about butts and stuff like that. And but then I remember, you know, when I was making my YouTube content, I was like, people were already kind of shocked when they would click on my rap videos, you know, because growing up in LA, and I feel like when you're in more diverse cities, it's not weird to see somebody that is Asian and raps and like maybe like walks and talks in a certain way.
Yeah.
But then when I was getting clicks from people who were like, you know, I wouldn't even be saying anything like on some gangster shit. I would just have like a backwards hat on, and they're like, "This dude wants to be a gangster so bad." And I'm like,
I remember
dude.
those comments for you.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean? I'm literally just. I'm chilling. I'm just wearing a backwards hat. I'm rapping a little bit. I'm not saying, nor do I claim to ever be a gangster. But for people that aren't used to that, they are so just taken aback by it. They don't know what to do. So I was like, okay, well, let me do this too. Like, I like talking about dirty stuff. I'm going to talk about dirty stuff. I've never seen an Asian dude talk about dirty stuff. And I felt like for a whole generation of young Asian Americans who maybe necessarily didn't have anyone older to talk to about that, I kind of became like an older brother / uncle when they had questions like that, you know? So when I was doing my Dear DeLaGhetto stuff where they would send me their relationship and sex questions, that was one of the first things to really kind of blow my channel up, you know? Because like some of these kids that used to watch me are now like, dude, you know what? I was watching you when I was 13 years old. I'm in college now. You helped me get through high school. Like, because, you know, they really had no one that they could talk to about that stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they got laid because of you.
I've gotten that comment before, for sure.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, it's speaking of that, it's pretty funny because I told my dad, I was like, hey, this weekend, because he watches the podcast all the time.
Yeah.
And I told him, oh, we have Tim on. And he's like, oh, he's kind of crazy, huh? I was like, no. And by that, he mean, you know, because he's seen your stuff before. No, I was like, no, he's actually like, he's a really cool guy. Like, he's not everything when we talk is not just like, like I didn't say sexual stuff, but I was just like, because you know he goes by like, oh, he sees your podcast title, or
right?
Like, I was like, no, he's a very normal person.
That's the thing too. It's like when people judge you by like a couple YouTube videos, you know, especially early YouTube was so like, hey guys, what's up, blah 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 blah,
exactly,
you know what I'm saying, jump cuts and shit, and it's like you want to keep everything so fast paced, and it's the tone has completely changed now.
Yep.
But I remember back then putting out content like that and people meeting me that I was just like having food with or chilling with, and they'd be like, wow, you're really calm. I thought you were gonna be annoying. And I'm like, no, I'm like,
annoying.
That's me, but I mean, it's me times 10, you know, real me isn't always just that, which is why I like the podcast era of YouTube, because it gives you a chance to actually chill and have a conversation.
That's why I wanted to do it in the first place. Well, when I first started it, everybody was like, why is Ryan so depressed? Like, I was just like, no, this is just how I am. Right. But like when I have to do a vlog, I've just got to turn it up a little bit, you know, chug an extra energy drink. At the time I didn't have Ninja Milk. Chug an extra 2 Red Bulls, you know.
Ninja Milk.
Ninja Milk. Thanks, Tim. But yeah, like people thought, and I don't blame them because that's all they've seen. Right. Unless they watch our second channel, which is behind the scenes. But that's besides the point.
And they see you chilling and talking, and they're
exactly,
like, this is weird.
He's mad. It's the same thing, being conscious of your face and stuff. He's mad. You know, he's like, he's not happy. When I used to watch back the vlogs, when I used to edit them, I would make sure that every single clip, every split second was, if I looked a little bit mad, people would comment on it. So this is me not being conscious of my face.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why people think I'm mad or sad. I don't know.
Well, and you know, the thing is too, and also, you know, I feel like your audience is, you know, was really young at first.
They were, yeah.
You
I
know?
used to cater to that.
Yeah.
Then I kind of stopped.
Well, I mean, shit, we're old.
I know, we are.
And your guys' audience is growing up, you know, but also like, you know, YouTube constantly, the audiences are changing. People are growing out of it. New people are coming in.
Yep.
How have you guys adjusted to that? Because you guys are getting older. You have new interests. You guys own places, which is something that, you know, kids are like, I don't understand anything about this.
You know, I didn't understand anything about it until like a year ago when I bought the house. Buying a house is one of the most confusing things I've ever done.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
More than you think.
Oh, that's crazy. You should, hey, to the kids out there that eventually want to buy a house, if you're in high school, look into it a little bit beforehand, just so you understand stuff.
Did you have a realtor?
I did, thank God, or else I would have been completely lost. Same. Yeah. They don't teach you that shit in school.
They don't. That's the stuff they should be teaching kids.
Exactly.
In high school.
Dude, when I was going through it, I was like, why was there not one class on buying a house or something, or like a chapter in,
Didn't you feel like you could have got screwed over at any moment?
Yeah,
like
dude.
If your realtor was a bad person, I was signing things, I was just like, Okay.
Yeah.
But I know my realtor, so it was like fortunate for me, but I couldn't even, I knew nothing.
Yeah, same boat.
I
Same
had
boat.
to ask my parents for everything.
I was literally just like, oh, just tell me what to sign, please. Can we just get this over with, please?
For all you know, you don't even own the place.
She owns it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of getting older, yeah, it's been a long time. We've been on YouTube just about the same amount of time. Yeah, like what, like 13 years.
I started a little after 06. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, 06. Yeah, same. So it's like been 13 years, almost 14 years.
Yep.
And I'm always kind of, I feel fortunate that my audience grew with me, you know, because I feel like, you know, we've seen people and channels that were really popping, and maybe they were doing one specific type of thing for a long time, and maybe they were catering to a specific audience, and then, you know, that only worked for so long before people are like, you know what, I've outgrown this, you know? So the fact that people, you know, still tune in as much as they do, I'm like, oh, thank God. I mean,
crazy.
Of course it's not the same like it used to be.
Yeah.
How about you? How's your audience? You feel like they've grown with you?
I would say for sure, because I've seen it like the age ranges. Obviously, it's hard to say in the beginning because it's 13 to 17, but really that means 13 and under. Because you weren't allowed to make accounts back then.
Right.
That age. And for the longest time, it was slowly starting to go up, and I was trying to force myself to get back down there because that's where the biggest group is, right, on YouTube. So I would say, and I just talked about it in one of my videos, but like I used to try so hard to cater to that group and getting the young ones coming in, that I would have to dumb down the content and take jokes that I thought was funny and kill them for myself to make it good for other people.
Yeah.
And I mean, used to hurt, like it literally hurt me. And I would see it.
So that's so funny because I had the same thing happen to me, but in a completely different way. Because of course I never catered to a younger audience. I was always just kind of, you know, out there with my stuff, right? But where that happened to me was, you know, of course, you know, a lot of my skits were kind of dirty, kind of like slapsticky in the beginning, and but personally, like the type of stuff I like to watch is like way drier, like weird almost, you know? And so when I'm like, I really want to make some content that I would watch, I'm like, my audience isn't gonna get this. They're not gonna like this.
I think we're very similar. One of the funniest videos I think I've seen of yours was just you and that dude dancing.
And Just Rain.
Yeah.
That's my favorite video I've ever done.
I can see if like that stuff's funny to me, but if I were to post something like that, it would not work.
Yeah.
But that did okay for you, right?
Oh, that did great for me.
Yeah.
But that was one of the ones where I was nervous about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, but that was also a video that I was so proud of to be a part of that I was like, I don't care if they like this or not.
Yeah.
And luckily they loved it, you know. But you know that's definitely out of you know, in my like kind of a range of content. It's like it's one of the special ones.
What was that? What's that dude's name?
Just Rain.
Just Rain.
Just Rain. Yeah.
Shoot, I just learned that you're not supposed to call people Indian. What ethnicity is he?
He's Indian.
Oh.
Wow, he just learned that.
Are you not supposed to call people Indian?
No. Oh, well, I just learned why people are called Indians. Native American people are called Indians, but I used to mix up the two.
I think that guy's actually Indian.
No,
right,
I know.
yeah.
What I mean is like I didn't even want to say either because I didn't want to mess up.
Just in case.
Yeah, and I used to get mixed up the two, and I just learned about the whole history. I'm very ignorant.
He is.
But like I mean, I want to learn, so I watch things, and that's what I learned. I have to be very careful when I speak. That's why I don't tweet a lot because I'm always scared to get canceled.
Right.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk
We
about a little
can
bit of
talk
that.
about
Yeah,
that.
you guys are from an older generation of social media where, you know, there's a lot of things said that, you know, could potentially be like, whoa, these people are, you know, racist, sexist,
I'm surprised
misogynist.
nothing you've said has gotten you into trouble, really.
Not, you know what? It's like, look, for sure, there is content that I put out in the past that I wouldn't put out now.
Right.
Like stuff I watch now and I think, yeah, nah.
Same.
And I might have privated a couple videos just with the change of the times,
Yep.
you know? And I also understand, like I, of course, cancel culture as a comedian is like, it's annoying, right?
Yeah.
But I also understand that the just society is maturing and growing. You feel me? It's like things are different and that is okay. And I'm not mad at that. So there are and I feel like back on Twitter especially, there was kind of a thing where you were trying, like a lot of people were trying to be edgy. Like you would say just crazy shit just to like
get retweets.
Get retweets and get laughs because, you know, like it was like, who cares? It's Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, and I've definitely gone into my past tweets, done a little search and been like, you know what? I'm going to just delete a whole bunch of these because I don't, ones that weren't even bad, but it was just like words that were kind of like anything that came up that was like even like specific, you know, if it was like, I met this cool black woman today. I'm like, let me just delete black woman just in case anyone wants to go, you know, find some issue with this. And it was
I don't agree with that. I feel like that I am mad at cancel culture because I think that's ridiculous. Like even especially if it's a long time ago, and let's say there's stuff you wouldn't say now, right? If they found a video that you deleted and someone re-uploaded and they decided to cancel you for that, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, this isn't right. Even unless you were like, I stand by it.
Right.
You know, I get it. But like, I think there's this mob mentality that happens. And
I know.
That's the difference. If someone can say something offensive and the people offended should be offended, but it doesn't mean everyone needs to be offended and agree with the offended people.
No, I totally agree. And I think everyone has the right to be offended.
Yep.
I think people shouldn't feel obligated to agree with you if you're offended. And I totally agree with that. But at the same time, I'm still gonna delete these tweets.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, why take the risk?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's the stupid part. Look, like I said, I'm not mad at the fact that things that we said back then maybe aren't as acceptable now.
Yeah.
But I am mad at mob mentality and the fact that people are mad at you for something you said 10 years ago or that they want to cancel you for that because it's like, look, you had to have been asleep before you can be woke. You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna be like mad at me when I was asleep, bro? Like I was asleep. You know what I'm saying?
I was asleep.
Like how are you gonna be mad at me for that? I didn't know what was going on. I was asleep.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is right now, all the people who are currently quote unquote woke, how do they know that everything they're doing right now, 10 years from now, isn't asleep?
Yeah.
You know? So it's one thing to be upset by something in the time, like, okay, I get it. I wouldn't say certain things I would have said like 10 years ago.
Right.
But how do you know that what you're saying right now isn't going to be offensive 10 years from now?
I mean, exactly. And the thing about it is like, man, even 5 years ago, it's like, I feel like your mind and everything can grow so much. You can become a completely different person, you know?
Yeah.
So it's silly to hold that over someone's head forever.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
And a lot of times I think it's especially with social media, you feel so isolated and not like real connections, but you want to feel like a part of something bigger. So a lot of times, a lot of people in these mob mentalities or this woke mentality, they don't even really truly believe it. They're just like, I'm just saying what I think I'm supposed to because everybody else is doing it. You know,
And it gets likes.
Yeah.
Right? Like that. And which is the ironic thing.
and then you feel a part of it.
Yeah. So that's the new culture. And I think people are trying to fit in for one, and it's the majority, so it's easier to jump on that bandwagon. I think it's going to switch eventually because people are getting tired of that. I think it's already starting to happen. You see comments like people are kind of getting sick of it.
They're over it, yeah.
But I think another part of that mob mentality is the fact that there's just a internet culture. I don't know what it is. There's like people who just like to make people feel worse. And I think part of it is because they're not happy, so they want other people to feel that pain. Because maybe they got called out for something. So now they're like, okay, you know what?
You're coming
I
down
was
with me.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to call out other people to make them worse. It just maybe be in my head. I don't know. That's a theory I have.
I mean, you know, it's crazy that it's gotten to a point like that. I want to be a better person.
Yeah.
And it's like if I want to be a better person, then let me make my mistakes, you know?
Right.
And I'm sure like eventually, you know, there's gonna be something that like happened in the past that like people are gonna be upset about, you know. I mean, but we all like say and do dumb things when we're young and growing, and, you know, figuring it out.
Well, like the Indian thing. Like I used to call Native American people Indian. I didn't know the difference. I didn't know why that happened. Apparently, it's because when people first came here, they thought they were in India. I don't know if this is true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and then they just kept calling them Indians. So I didn't know how offensive that was. But when you watch cartoons and stuff, you know, associate like I grew up learning from cartoons and stuff.
Right.
And in history class, I mean, I guess I didn't pay attention too well.
And then, you know, I mean, and in cartoons, they're playing cowboys and Indians,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Let's actually, you want because that just happened, right? Columbus Day. It just happened.
Did it?
Recently? I believe that's
See, I don't even
A couple
know.
weeks ago, yeah.
Probably offended a
or
whole-
something like that. But a lot of people are talking about, you know, Columbus Day, or should it be called Indigenous
Peoples Day. Yeah, they're changing it up because everyone's
What?
everyone's like, yo, Christopher Columbus shouldn't be celebrated anymore. He didn't.
Oh, I heard about
He
that.
didn't even really find America. And he's just really just kind of.
And what he did to the people, actually, because he was like, oh, I'll trade like certain objects for land, and the Native Americans were like, you can't own land. Sure, like this is a good idea for us. And so when they got this stuff, and then he started to enact, oh, we own this, or we do this, and then Native American people,
See?
whatever,
You're canceled, bro.
Native American people, they taught him certain things, how to do certain stuff, and then what he did was enslave them, And so a lot of people are like, wait a minute, this isn't right. We've been celebrating somebody who has persecuted people who previously owned this land.
Right.
So that's the whole controversy.
I didn't know. I didn't even.
So now it's
know.
Indigenous Peoples Day.
No way. See, that's another thing too.
What, you mad,
can-
Christopher
no.
Columbus lover?
Yeah.
Columbus lover?
See, they could pull a clip.
now you're
they could pull a
canceled.
clip from this. Exactly, they could. And I didn't know.
Yeah.
And they say like, oh, he's so ignorant, but like that's how you learn. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you have to learn at some point, and there should be some. Not like you don't need credit for it, but like it should show like I'm not closed off,
Right.
To say like, oh no, I know Christopher Columbus,
And that's why Columber.
Christopher Columbus.
And that's why I don't like the whole like if someone's ignorant, like you get angry at them for not knowing.
yeah.
I mean, if someone's ignorant and they have questions, let's help each other out,
I agree.
Yeah. Some people though, they're like, if the kid touches the stove and burns themselves, they should know. And some people are like, oh no, you know what? Let's teach them.
I don't know the temperature of a Native American person. I don't know how hot they are.
They're 98.6, I believe. Usually. Until the white people brought over the flu, then they probably had a fever.
Yeah, see? Wow, whiteys, man, messed it all up. Jeez.
That's another thing I don't even shouldn't bring that up.
Ooh, now I want to know. But we can transition. We can transition out.
Yeah.
We can transition out. We have 10 minutes left. Let's go into a couple of the Twitter questions.
You have questions? Okay.
Yeah, I have like one or two.
Sure, let's do it.
But actually, one that I wanted to talk about is because you were one of the first prominent YouTubers to be in a long distance relationship.
Oh.
That has actually panned out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to talk about it a little bit about this because especially again with social media, because a lot of people are like, oh, I can find love anywhere. You know?
Right.
That there's a whole like subtle Asian dating thing where people are finding love across the country, across the world.
Yeah.
There's apps all over. What advice? Because we've already asked Ryan about this, but you have a completely different story. So let's just hear about that a little.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I when I was younger, I would have never said I would get into a long distance relationship. I used to be like, you know what? I couldn't do it. I need like just to touch somebody.
You're
and
horny.
I'm a horny boy.
Yeah.
I was a horny boy.
Yeah.
Still am. But when I met Chia, my wife, my current wife, my only wife, I remember thinking like, if I don't at least try to make this work, then I'm just gonna regret it forever, And long distance, it's possible. It's just it's not easy. And I think it takes very specific kinds of people. For me, like let's say I was with a long distance relationship with my ex, okay, who at the time like needed to talk on the phone all the time, needed to know where I was, and if I was trying to do that with her, long distance with her, that would have never worked. But with Chia, not only is she a super secure person, like isn't jealous, isn't like where you at, who you with, she also was really busy, you know what I'm saying? She ran her own business in Canada, so it was like we both had our own stuff going on. So it wasn't somebody
That's
who...
important.
Yeah, it's really important. Because if one person's busy all the time and they can't text back and they can't call back, the other person's like, what's happening? Their life kind of gets revolved around the other person. And like, and that's not good for even a regular relationship, And so what worked for us is like, she could worry about her own thing. I could worry about my own thing. We were both super secure people. No one was like tripping about like, why aren't you hitting me back? You know, and also, and this is a big thing in long distance relationships too, is that like we both had money. You know,
That helped. Yeah,
like
sure.
we could both afford to fly back and forth to Canada when we needed to. And she ran her own business, so she could leave whenever she wanted to.
That's huge too.
Yeah, dude. So it wasn't like, you know, because some people are in long distance relationships, they can't take the time off of work for like 6 months, right? But we had a system where we would work for 3 weeks. I would shoot. I would go on meetings. She would do all like her appointments for 3 weeks. She was an esthetician, pedicures, manicures, waxing vaginas. And we do that for 3 weeks straight. We'd set 1 week where I wouldn't take any business. She wouldn't take any clients. We'd fly to each other, hang out for a week, and then be like, all right, see you next month, you know? And it was hard at first. First couple months, it was like, you know, crying at the airport and shit like that. But then after a few months, it was like, all right, well, see you next month. You know, have a good trip, and just kind of got used to it.
How long ago did you get married?
A year ago.
Oh, so that's way more recent than I thought. So that's during a time where immigration's a big thing. Is she a U.S. citizen now?
Dude, that whole process was a bitch. It took forever.
I would assume right now in like the past 4 years,
Yes.
3 years.
She literally just got her green card like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
And it was
after a year?
No, dude, not only that. Yay! I'm talking about from the beginning process of trying to get her K1 visa, which was the proper visa to get married. It's the fiance visa, where she enters the country and has 90 days to marry me legally. This is all we're doing. Everything's the super proper way. From the day we applied for that visa to the day we got it and got married. And since she got married, like we've done a couple, she did an interview, I did an interview. The whole approval process took like 2 years. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And here's what happened too. While she was married, after we got married, she wasn't allowed to leave the country or work. She couldn't even go back to Canada for like a straight year. Yeah, she couldn't even visit her family. It was crazy.
That seems. I mean, that I guess in a way that shows true love. Because if you guys really didn't love each other, you wouldn't go through that bullshit.
You know, it was like, and here's what's funny too is you know, when we kind of got into our long distance routine, at one point I was like, hey babe, is this weird? But do you almost think it's better that we're long distance? And she was like, babe, I was thinking the exact same thing because she loves her alone time. I love my alone time. She was working so hard, and it was like, dude, I don't even think we would have had time for a relationship if we were together like that.
So how is it different now then?
Well, now we've taken all those skills and apply them to living together, you know? Because like now that we've gone through all that, nobody's mad when someone's like, just in the other room for like the whole day. Like we can be, we can be chilling, not even talking to each other, and it's not an issue. You know, no one's like needy. You know, and being two people that really value their kind of like space and alone time, I think the distance helped us get into a space where it's like, okay, I understand that you need to be here. I need to be here. Sometimes if I'm snoring too much, I will move to the next bed because she's like pushing my face because she can't sleep. That's something she had to get used to, like me snoring. Apparently I snore. And but yeah, it worked. We got married.
Yeah. That's not
Congrats, dude.
Thanks. It's not bad.
And I guess we can continue into another question from Caesar that asks, what do you believe to be the key to happiness? Because you're somebody who always promotes that type of stuff. I know there's a lot of keys you have. You have more keys than a janitor. More keys than DJ Khaled.
I have two keys.
Ooh, all right.
That I try to apply to my life all the time. One being, like I said before, the more you care about what other people think, I think the more you like cut yourself off from like potential happiness, you know, because you're living your life according to other people's opinions.
It's like you give them the power instead of having the own power.
Exactly. Like once you stop caring, then it's like you're free. You know,
you
it's
take it back.
It's like who cares? The second thing I always try to apply to my life is something I learned in like a Taoism class in college, but then people, like so many people have said this in so many different ways, and it's that life isn't about what happens to you; it's about how you react to what happens to you. You know, it's like once you realize that you don't control anything and you stop worrying about it and you're just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna make the most out of whatever situations I'm dealt, then it's like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna take this and roll with it and try to do my best, and then you're okay with it. I think.
Nice.
I like that.
Very clear, concise stuff.
It's the opposite of Will Smith. He thinks to not let things happen to you, but you control the universe.
Is that what he says?
Something like that. Like you can force the universe to bend.
There's
to
a lot
your
of
will.
people, who believe like manifesting destiny and
It's
stuff
kind
like
of
that.
a similar thing.
No,
but
I mean, here's the thing. I totally believe in the universe too.
it exists.
It totally exists. But when people used to ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, or whenever they asked me, what did you think? Did you ever think you would end up here now? I'd be like, yeah. This is what I wanted to do. Like I didn't know in what capacity, but when they asked me when I was little, I'd say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be famous," because I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew that if I kept working towards that goal, I would make it happen. You know. And whenever people ask me like, "How does it feel to like live your dream?" I always tell them like, "Well, here's the thing. I never looked at it." Okay, here's I've said this a million times in my videos, but this is Ryan Higa's audience, so I always say shit. What do I say? I would say, don't look at your goals as dreams. Look at them as destinations, okay? Because for me, when you think of dreams, you think of like unicorns and something that's not tangible, you know? But if you look at your goal as something that is there as a destination, and all you have to do is keep moving towards it, then you'll get there eventually, you know? And I feel like I looked at like being famous the same way somebody would look at getting like a college degree or getting like becoming a doctor, you know?
Right.
Like you know what the end goal is. So you go, okay, I'm gonna go take biology class, I'm gonna go be pre-med, I'm gonna be a nurse, I'm gonna take all these steps that eventually make me a doctor. So for me, I was like, I know where I wanna be in my career. I'm gonna take the necessary steps and get an agent and go take acting classes and even though I haven't done that, but but put myself in the right positions and take the right steps where I feel like if I just keep going, I'll only keep progressing, you know, and then that's what I did.
Well,
universe.
there you go.
Last
You control his
question.
own. Go ahead.
Last question from Sarah. Any plans on having kids soon?
Well, here's the thing. Special announcement. No, just kidding.
Oh my gosh. Breaking exclusive.
Yeah. Sooner than later. My parents have been bugging me for grandkids since before I even we even got engaged, you know. One of the main things that kept us from having kids right now is that like she didn't have a green card yet, so we want a few years of just like traveling, or maybe like a year of traveling where we don't have to worry about a baby, you don't have to worry about being pregnant. We haven't even gone on the honeymoon yet, so
Oh wow.
yeah. So now that we can actually go on the honeymoon, she can take her cute bikini pictures without having a little baby bump, and then we'll come back and I'll start not pulling out.
And that's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
That's the goal to happiness.
All right. Do you have anything that you want to plug? You have your podcast, all your shows.
Sure. Check out my podcast, No Chaser Podcast. It's just on my YouTube channel. And make sure you check out Send Foods on Thrillist. And when does this come out?
Probably this Sunday.
Oh, cool. And check out No Whining, which is my Facebook Watch show where I interview little kids.
Ooh, that's cute.
It's my favorite thing I've ever done. And then another food show on MTV's YouTube called Basic to Bougie that I do. And that's it. And I might start working on a new album soon.
Thank you again so much for being here, dude. I know you're very busy.
Thanks for having me, dude. No, you're busy. Thanks for having me.
I'm chilling.
Now let me know next time you're in LA. We'll have you on my podcast.
I will be there in a couple weeks, actually. I'll text you.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's number 7 you have to do now.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing a little mini podcast tour in LA.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just hang out, dude. Forget it. Let's just grab a drink. Take a break from doing all your podcasts, and let's just grab a drink when you're in LA.
I like podcasts are easy. I mean, it's fun. It's just like being yourself. So
yeah.
Cool. Well, the way we end these is we just breathe into the mic. So
Awesome.
In 3, 2, 1.
Tim's a midget.
Oh, damn. Oh, now you want to start.
Oh, wow. You know what? We're going to keep this going now.